Karen vandalized an ambulance for trespassing, got arrested while it was saving a life. The small town of Willow Creek buzzed with its usual rhythm on a humid June evening, but the air carried an undercurrent of unease. Karen Mitchell, a 46-year-old local known for her fiery outbursts, had been simmering all day. Her pristine suburban lawn, the envy of the neighborhood, had been violated when an ambulance parked on her street, its rear tire grazing her property line. To Karen, this was no mere oversight, it was an act of war. She'd spent years cultivating her image as the neighborhood's gatekeeper, quick to call out dog walkers, delivery drivers, or anyone who dared disrupt her version of order. But this time, her rage would unravel everything. Karen stood in her driveway, spray paint can in hand, her face twisted with righteous fury. The ambulance, stationed just across the street, was responding to a call at the elderly Mrs. Carter's home. Karen didn't care. "Trespassers," she muttered, shaking the can. The red paint hissed as she scrawled, "Trespasser," across the ambulance's side, each letter a declaration of her authority. Neighbors peeked from their windows, phones already recording, sensing the storm brewing. The paramedics, Jake and Maria, emerged from Mrs. Carter's house, stretcher in tow, their patient barely clinging to life. Jake froze, his eyes locking on the defaced ambulance. "What the hell?" he shouted, his voice cracking with exhaustion. Maria, steady but shaken, tried to keep her focus on Mrs. Carter, whose shallow breaths were a ticking clock. "Ma'am, step away from the vehicle," Maria called, her tone firm but trembling. Karen spun around, her eyes blazing. "This is my street. You don't get to park wherever you want." The confrontation escalated in seconds. Jake, usually calm under pressure, felt his blood boil. "We're saving a life here. You think your lawn is more important?" Karen scoffed, stepping closer, paint can still in hand. "You're disrespecting my property. I'll sue you all." The crowd grew, murmurs turning to shouts. A teenage girl, Lily, Mrs. Carter's granddaughter, pushed through, tears streaming down her face. "Stop it. That's my grandma in there. She's dying." Her voice cut through the chaos, but Karen barely flinched, her obsession with control blinding her to the human cost. Enter Tom, a quiet mechanic who lived 2 houses down. He'd always stayed out of Karen's tirades, but tonight, something snapped. Unbeknownst to the neighborhood, Tom had been Mrs. Carter's caretaker for months, helping with her groceries and medications after his own mother's death from a similar heart condition. His presence was the twist no one saw coming. "Karen," he said, his voice low but piercing, "that ambulance is here for Ellen. You're not just defacing a truckee delaying her chance to live." The crowd fell silent. Karen's face faltered, but her pride wouldn't let her back down. "You're all against me," she screamed, hurling the paint can to the ground. The police arrived, sirens slicing through the tension. Officer Daniels, a seasoned cop who knew Karen's history, approached with handcuffs. "Karen Mitchell, you're under arrest for vandalism and obstructing an emergency response." As the cuffs clicked, Karen's defiance crumbled into panic. "I didn't know," she cried, but the crowd's glares told her it was too late. Jake and Maria rushed Mrs. Carter into the ambulance, its defaced side a grim reminder of the delay. Lily clung to Tom, sobbing, as the vehicle sped off. At the hospital, the news was brutal. Mrs. Carter's heart gave out minutes after arrival. The doctors said the delay hadn't helped, every second counted. Back in Willow Creek, the neighborhood was fractured. Some saw Karen as a villain, her obsession with control costing a life. Others, her loyal allies, argued she was protecting her rights, that the ambulance should have parked elsewhere. The truth was murkier, and Karen's arrest didn't erase the loss. Tom visited the police station the next day, his face heavy with grief. He didn't speak to Karen, but he left a single photo on the count-era picture of Mrs. Carter laughing with Lily at a picnic, taken just weeks before. It was his quiet way of reminding everyone what was at stake. Karen, released on bail, saw the photo and broke down, the weight of her actions sinking in. But remorse couldn't undo the tragedy. Her reputation, once a badge of pride, was now a scarlet letter. The town grappled with the fallout. Social media exploded with debates, some vilifying Karen, others questioning the system that let an ambulance be delayed. Lily, barely 16, posted a heartbreaking video, begging people to think before they act. "My grandma deserved better," she said, her voice raw. Tom, meanwhile, organized a fundraiser for Mrs. Carter's memorial, turning his pain into purpose. The neighborhood slowly healed, but the scars remained. Karen faced trial weeks later. The courtroom was packed, the air thick with judgment. She pleaded guilty, her lawyer citing her momentary lapse in judgment. The judge wasn't swayed. "Your actions had consequences beyond property," he said, sentencing her to community service and a fine. As she left the courthouse, head bowed, the crowd outside was silent. No cheers, no jeers, just the weight of a life lost. The story of Karen's outburst spread beyond Willow Creek, a cautionary tale of pride and its cost. It wasn't just about a vandalized ambulance. It was about the fragility of community, the clash between individual rights and collective responsibility. Mrs. Carter's death was a bitter reminder that actions ripple, and rage can drown out reason. What do you think? Where does justice lie in a tragedy like this? Share your thoughts on right, wrong, and the cost of conflict.